Hello, and welcome to the EverQuest 2 stream. I'm joined here with the Daybreak team. I'm Rai Schuler. Some of you know me as Roshan, and I'm the community manager for you guys. Everyone's going to go through and introduce themselves and chat a little bit about what's going on here before we get into questions.
Start with Chris.
I'm Chris Garlick, and I am Kroll on the forums, and this is Holly.
Yes, I am. I'm Holly Longdale, Windstalker and executive producer of EQ and EQ2. Yay!
I'm Nathan McCall, known as K Thiel on the forums, and do a lot of quests and live events. Shiz night.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm Tom Toby, T-Toby on the forums, and I was promised beer.
That's how we get him to come to work every day.
I'm Kyle
It's an ongoing
Tander
problem.
Valee, and I'm the lead designer. And this is Rye.
I think you have a mic here also, so you probably don't need this guy.
Hi.
Minor
Hello.
detail.
Hello.
So yeah, everyone's going to chat a little bit about some of the things that are going on here first, and then we'll get into the questions that you guys have supplied us on the forums, which Holly has a list of over here.
I do.
But did you want to chat first, Holly, about some things, or turn it over to anybody?
First, I did a post last week just to follow up on that slightly. It's a Wednesday. We've had 2 days of worky time. So what that means is the team is hard at work. They have some incredible plans already underway. We're sorting out timing. We wish we could give you dates right now. We can't. New content, absolutely yes. And we're going to go through and talk about with some of your questions. We'll address a few details as well as what's coming up immediately, which I'll hand off to these guys. So yes, there will be live content. Nathan does that very well and is continuing to do that. He is the guy, the master, and always has been. And then we're looking at, like we normally do, we'll do some kind of update of content. We're deciding what that is. So we talked earlier in the year, or late last year, we raised an SOA Live. In fact, their former live event that was formerly named something else. So we talked about doing Fabled Dungeons. That's still on. We have this bucket list of awesome that we're going through, and we expect to do these things. It's a matter of timing and what the priorities are, what's right for the game, what's fun for the game, and what we want collectively as a team and with players. So Fabled Dungeons. We have some cool new stuff that I'll hand off to Chris to talk about and Kyle. So we can't really tell you anything about it because it's awesome and I don't want to ruin the surprise, but it'll come out eventually. But we can. There's a lot of depth of content and it's already kind of in the works and we're continuing that because it's awesome and it'll come out at some point. But right now, we're really evaluating dates and making sure that everything that we had on the plan is still the right plan. The database conversion that we've been working on is still going to occur next month. We'll probably have some updates about some downtimes that are going to happen. We're converting whole servers, which is the background work for the future of some of the other features we want to add. We have to do some really complicated DB work in order to build the basis for doing cross-server dungeons, which is still in our stretch plan. So the coders they've been continuing to work on that as hard as they have been. We're updating our build process. The servers this week, you saw Unrest get updated. We're updating the OS on our servers. So we're building the foundation for our future. That's still happening, and they're all hard at work. And of course, as always, we're always going to be looking at live issues. That's always a priority for us. We want to make sure the content we're doing is solid and as bug-free as we can get it, as always. And then we're going to hot fixes. So you may recall or may not, last year we had an initiative of doing weekly updates, weekly content. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to do what's right for the game. So we're going to examine the cadence. We typically do weekly hot fixes, but we want to start taking our time, making sure we fully test stuff, exposing it to you guys when we want you to give us input. So and of course we'll be talking about any plans we have as we go forward, and we'll be sharing that with with you. So you can look forward to us continuing to be transparent. That's kind of what the EQ2 team is all about. So we'll continue with that and share our plans as we make them. So that was a super long-winded way to answer the question. Will we continue to see new
we have
content and
time left?
expansions?
Yes.
And so, Chris, do you want to talk about, give some tidbits about some of the events and the
Well,
depth
I'm
of
going to
content?
not be transparent because I can't talk much about anything that I'm working on, except there will be advanced solo, heroic, and raid content coming up in the future.
New event, heroic.
New event heroic also, yes. So we have all
New
4
loot.
types of dungeons coming out.
New loot.
New loot,
Sometime.
yes, new
exciting-
missions.
Exciting
And
new,
it's not
exciting new items.
It's not that you're being vague because it hasn't already been worked on or being
Oh, no,
worked
no,
on
it's-
currently.
yeah.
We just cannot cover these
I-
topics at this time.
Yeah, it's
We don't
Yeah.
know when it's coming.
And it's super cool. It's an
gonna be
amazing.
coming out.
Yeah,
Story
even
and
the
Yes,
story
yes.
inside
Yeah.
of it, we're
It will-
excited about.
It's actually kind of lighthearted too. It's kind of a funny
Yes.
tale that we're going
I
to
love
tell.
the twists in
Yes,
there.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. It's nothing. It's not serious at all. Well, it is.
They can't talk.
Well, no, not really.
This is like the guy, who likes to kill players. So
We're being
Yes.
it's hilarious.
we're being vague.
but
Deliberately vague. But just
I will
know
try
there's-
to kill players a little less this time around.
You will die.
Awesome. Do you want to talk about the live events?
Oh, certainly. So we've got Air LEC Day just ended. We've got Brew Day is coming up next. And if you go onto the test server right now, you can jump on in and go ahead and test out and give me some feedback there on Brew Day. Then Chrono Portals comes after that, as well as Bristlebane Day. So we've got some events coming. They're lined up.
We're skipping Tom because he hasn't been fed. Beer. Kyle, do
Beer.
you want to talk about AOM next week?
Yeah, we have. So next week we have the rare, heroic loot pinatas that are coming.
That's a technical
They're
term.
they're bosses that'll. Whenever you complete one of the AOM regular heroics, non-event heroics, you'll have a chance to spawn an additional boss, and those guys are gonna have tons of new weapons because y'all want new weapons, and none of you can make up your mind what delay you want, so lots of new weapons. And they're going to be on patterns, by the way, so you'll be able to pick your poison, choose your poison. Woo, no pun intended. And it was totally intended. Yeah. And some new rare drops from those guys. We're also, oh my God, we have a lot of stuff coming. Putting in Tier 4 green armor conversion to red gems to purple gems to black gems. Oh wait, there's no black gems. What else? We're doing an overall hit point reduction on heroic and advanced solo content and taking out some of the more annoying stuff that you're all
Adding
So-
adding missions to
adding missions to
Broken
Pirate
Skull
Cove,
Bay,
contested, and
and a week.
ossuary contested.
Yes.
Yeah, and a weekly.
So clearly stuff is coming. These guys can go on and on. That's
There-
most of it, right?
No, there's more. But
Yeah, still. And yeah.
whole bunch of stuff.
One of the other things that came up in the question was about reworking the deity system. We'll probably get to it. Again, timing is our focus right now in examining what we're doing and putting the packages together with that timing. So as soon as we know the details on these bigger announcements and things that we've talked about in the past, we'll certainly share them with you. But that's still on the table of one of the things we definitely want to address, depending on where it fits into the timeline for us. How will Station Cache be affected by these changes? Not at all. The name might change, but we're not changing anything to do with how much you have or anything in that regard. Can anything be done to help servers with low population? We've actually been talking about some options, and we'll probably start sharing some ideas with you as we go forward. I won't get into too many details here, but
The cross dungeon.
yeah, that's
Finder.
kind of, so the crossover dungeon finder is kind of the first step in just allowing or having a mechanism for players to be able to group with each other ubiquitously, for lack of a better term. And then there's even some other things, we may offer some options. Like I said, this database work that we're doing, it's going to be coming in phases throughout the year, and we're going to try and make it as painless and seamless as possible for you, but it's coming in stages. So we're going to start with converting our entire database system, which is a hugely risky and significant task. So we're probably going to be asking you to help us on beta just to make sure it's stable and the whole game doesn't explode, which we hope doesn't. It's looking good so far. And then beyond that, we're going to be doing changes to how the account system works. That's the next goal beyond that, which is going to allow us some flexibility. That's what builds the basis for the cross-server Dungeon Finder stuff, as well as some other options. So it's more like getting our house in order for the future for these kinds of features like cross-server Dungeon Finder. And with rewriting a database, there's a lot of changes in how the processes go. We're probably going to be tackling the size of your character files because you guys do so much stuff. They're crazily huge. So we're probably going to be breaking those into databases, database tables, and so on. So it's going to be an ongoing process, and those kinds of things have to happen before we even can explore doing something like server merges. So server merges isn't even on the scope because we're hoping cross-server Dungeon Finder tackles the majority of it, and then looking at some flexibility options. So there's a lot of stuff coming. I know it's, again, a vague answer, but just know that we're talking about these things. We hear you, and we're always looking for solutions. And the team generally agrees. We're kind of on the same page with you guys as to what the priorities are.
I totally disagree.
God,
No, I'm just
I give up, man.
Just like being the contrarian over there.
It's like peanut gallery without the good flavor. This is a question this is a Kyle question. Green adornments. The drop rate of level 96 to 100 versions of these is low, and there are many raiders that haven't even received one yet. Are there any plans to fix this?
Yeah, we plan on seeding green adornments in upcoming content releases, and we know that there's a problem, and we'll be adjusting things accordingly.
God, that was so professional for
The
you.
line must be drawn here.
See, it had to go somewhere. Over the past several expansions, scouts have lost much of their DPS, and many scouts are no longer wanted in raids and heroic groups. When is the new scout revamp going to take place? I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. And what can we expect to see from it?
We're deleting scouts.
Yeah.
That's what we're laughing at.
We actually have a plan. We have a plan to fix that. We're discussing it today. We have a good plan. We have to fix some of the auto attack problems because right now people are depending too much on auto attack stats and they need to push buttons. So yeah, we're probably going to be doing combat art damage increase for scouts, along with a few other nifty things to bring them up into line to where they're supposed to be, where we think they're supposed to be. So don't fret.
So Kyle, have the Twitch chat over here. They want to know if you're reading off of a script somewhere.
Right?
Nope. I'm just staring in that really super bright light.
It's like hypnotic.
They don't let me wear sunglasses on these, and I'm very light sensitive, so no script. Look, woo, woo.
But you speak so well.
Well, he
Hello,
does
my
it
baby.
until the
Hello,
end.
my honey.
Yeah.
Hello, my ragtime girl.
So those were some of the questions we had. Of course, we're going to be continuing to look at your feedback. We're probably going to start doing a few more polls in game, just to get some ideas out there, as well as options, and see what your thoughts are and your feedback. We did get the surveys back that were for the last expansion. We did get some good feedback from that too. We might try different formats going forward, and probably from the dev side focus the questions a little differently, but we found it super valuable. what's really important to us is to get at the people who truly love and are passionate about this game, who are experiencing it at least, on a regular basis. We're here for you. Everyone's still, we're 110% racing forward to do the right thing, not racing forward blindly, but very deliberately. It's a creative, it's a storm around here, with the exception of Tom. And with that said, I wanted to make sure that we shout out the community fan sites. We're so grateful for all the support we've gotten. You guys are incredible. We're not ashamed to admit that we use you as resources as well. So I want to give a shout out to Narathian Chronicles, EQ2 Wire, Felden. Thank you for all your support. Of course, Kithakor.org with Jethel, EQ2 Wikia, EQ2 Decorators, Naomi Denmother over at EQ2 Traders Corner. We love you all. If I miss someone, we'll definitely get you next time. But you're the soul and the foundation, and we're super grateful.
You're the paste that makes our tongues numb.
Oh, good Lord.
What?
That's an ending. Oh, and one last question.
Well,
There are a number of
Paste.
minutes here. So do we want to go to Twitch chat at all, or do we want to cut it?
If you want to ask something,
Okay,
go
so I
ahead.
need a microphone because they can't actually hear me.
No one wants to hear you.
Okay, so we have a fair number of minutes. So I have the Twitch chat here on my handy handheld device. We can maybe get into some of the ones.
that a
There's
computer
a few ones in here
machine?
about the weekly quested Malice gems, why they're no trade, or if that.
Because Quest
can't get it.
rewards are no trade. They are.
I just wanted to show
If you want the gems, go do the quest.
Aw.
Okay, I have the Twitch chat, so if other people want to ask questions, I'm scrolling back a little bit, but some of the people are talking about different fan sites right now, so I'm going to have to get past that.
I just want to address some tension in the room with Tom. So I'm going to ask the final question that I wanted to address is, will we ever see a duck mount in EQ2?
You mean that? Character team for the win.
Duck mount.
He's
He
always
has
so
left
subtle.
the building.
Yeah. So that was that.
In case you didn't glom that.
So what that
And it
was
was
that
on
a yes
back.
or a no?
It's a mystery.
In case you didn't grok that, yes,
No.
yes,
Yes? I don't know.
probably,
Maybe.
maybe.
They're all clapping for him out there.
Okay. Anything else from Twitch chat? We have a few moments here. They're asking what happened to Tom. We might be a little bit delayed right now.
He's being fed by beer. He's rage developing the duck mount.
Nobody see Cander's kicks?
People are just saying public questing caps, but I don't know if that's a question.
Oh, caps?
Like,
No, they're asking about public quests.
Oh, yes, sorry. So yeah, Public Quests was one of the things we were committed to. We're focusing on, like I said, our code resources are kind of, we want them committed to doing this back-end work. Obviously, it takes a lot of checks and balances to build kind of the foundation in the future, which hopefully you'll see gains from too in performance. Again, like the character file size is unbelievably huge with the amount of stuff you guys do, and we think it'll be more efficient to deal with some of those things. So
Welcome back to the stream.
if we'd been developing Twitch, that never would have been happening. I'm just saying. I have no idea where we were.
I mean, we have a few minutes. Were we talking public events? Do we get to where?
Oh, Public Quest. Yeah, it's on the list of epic things to do. Coders are focused on the back end work, but that's something the team really wants to do. So we're looking at options, variations of it, because it has obvious, it's going to be kick-ass fun.
Kick ass.
So some people are saying we ignored server merges. We talked about that. The first step is the cross dungeon.
Yeah, we're not ignoring it.
Yeah.
You absolutely didn't ignore it.
Yeah, so the first step is the database work, which helps us get to the next phase, which is changes to the account system. Then that gets us to cross-server Dungeon Finder, which we think is, in my opinion, then I'm fairly sure the entire team agrees, cross-server Dungeon Finder we think is a bigger win And then, if we feel we need it, we'll look at any merge opportunities later. It's not even on our radar at this point. But there's even before that, there's a lot of options we have available to us that don't necessarily require a server merge. We're very sensitive to making sure that we support the community, and we want to do the right things there. But cross-server Dungeon Finder would be our first goal, and that's a ways out. It's pretty hard to describe when you're 10 years into a game and changing and altering the entire back end. It's absolutely the right thing to do for a long and prosperous future on the back end. As far as building your characters, it's really hard to describe
And
how much
absolutely
stuff.
terrifying.
Yes, but it really is hard to describe how big your character files are. They are really ginormous. And we need to address it. And so this is it's going to be over the year. Lots of detailed work, and we're going to need a lot of your support for testing. So yeah.
Promise people keep running around with items.
Yeah, if you could
wanna
just
take-
run
Yeah,
around
no
with
items,
no
then
items,
it would be easy.
It'd be awesome. Or stop getting achievements and things like guild medals and doing things.
Which we don't want to stop any of that, so
Yeah, the thing is, we're only planning to do a lot more. So
Yes.
we need to address it now.
There's a few on here. So EQ gets progression servers. Have we considered doing that for EverQuest 2? And if so, what would that look like?
The game development is so different,
Yeah,
this architecture.
we've talked about it, but the architecture that remains is not. We don't have the same. Like EQ has the original architecture to do that sort of thing, so we've definitely talked about it. It's something that some of us would like to do, but
And we may look at options.
we don't have a good
but-
plan for it.
Yeah.
So do we have any other questions? People are asking about the camera bouncing, but that doesn't.
That's us bouncing.
What are you
Oh.
talking about?
Oh, actually, no. It is in game. Froglock, Sarnak, etc. What about people who?
What?
The camera bounces for Froglocks and Sarnax?
So, camera bounces when gathering. Going to be fixed. Froglock, Sarnax.
when gathering?
Froglock Sarnax? Oh, you mean Froglock / Sarnax? Can we have a different question?
Frognax.
We'll have Tom
We'll
Cody
go
look at
repro
it.
that.
That sounds like something that should be
Seriously.
submitted with
Seriously.
/bug.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah, a lot
Use
of these
slash
questions
bug
that
if
are
it's a
popping
bug.
up in here. I mean, you can put them on the forums reporting bugs. People are talking about bugs with AAs.
/
other
bug,
feedback.
everybody.
Yeah, quality of life things. Yeah, just report these to us so we can get those.
They read / bug every
Every
single day.
morning.
Every morning.
Yeah. So if you're having issues or yeah, that's the place
Also,
to go.
don't petition in /bug and /feedback. Use petition for that. Just saying.
And, yeah, we talked about the scout changes too, guys. If you're not watching the whole stream, I don't know where to go with you guys.
Yeah.
So in any case, we'll have the replay on YouTube.
So
you can catch up.
Just to recap and to be clear, we do have plans to fix, to adjust scouts, not fix, but we know that there's a problem with auto attack scouts out there and stuff like that. We have plans to make quality of life changes for tanks. We're talking about putting more offensive stats on tank gear so that it's funner to play tanks. We're talking about getting rid of Reckless and rolling it into your offensive stance. We have all kinds of stuff that we're talking about actually just today. So
Pets thing too?
yeah, pets thing that's on test. If you're a summoner, go check it out because it's awesome and now your pets actually do what they're supposed to do. I know. It's amazing. Yeah, I mean, we're here and we're not going anywhere and we plan to fix things and make things better and
Yeah, lots of stuff coming.
And we're definitely looking at your feedback. Some people are calling out some sticky class feedback sections. I mean, we definitely see all of your feedback on the forums. We have those available to us. And not just in the sticky threads, like anywhere you guys provide feedback, we have that available to us as we look how we're moving forward with all of
the
this.
yeah,
focus
I
feedback
mean, for instance, we know there's complaints from wardens. Like we know. I'm not
It's all
going to
documented.
tell you what those
It's there.
complaints are, but
Okay, so any closing thoughts from anybody before we wrap up the stream?
Thanks for being here, and I can definitely speak on behalf of the team, though I'm sure they would like to comment for themselves. We absolutely love you guys, and we really appreciate the support. We are 150% in this thing. This is a tireless team, and that's not stopping anytime soon. we're here for the future. It's going to be a good ride, and just expect a lot more awesome. I love these guys too. They're an incredible team. But really, thank you. You're why we're here. And they'll nod and go, yeah, yeah,
Yeah! Right on!
So take care, and we'll see you in game.
Woo!